where higher, faster, swifter and stronger are more than mere words. There are no limits to imagination or wonder. Welcome to the world of the entrepreneur. They do things differently and do them better than anyone else, where the fight to the top means that you set your own milestones and compete only with yourself. Where belief lies in your own ability to see the future and conquer it. Today, we invite you to walk on the winning side, where there are no limits to growth and the power to make a difference lies with you. Our time is now. We are ready to unleash India. Are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for the evening, Suresh Venkat.
Hi, good evening, one and all. It's good to be here. I'll give you a moment to place your orders for those of you who haven't placed your orders for dinner. It's a momentous occasion, ladies and gentlemen, as we present to you the first ever Forbes India Entrepreneurship Summit. It's been a long time coming, as the legendary singer Sam Cooke once crooned, and aptly followed it up with, "But I know a change is going to come, oh yes, it will." And the Forbes India Entrepreneurship Summit embodies that sweeping change this country has witnessed due to some very savvy entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs have sparked this nation's imagination with groundbreaking ideas, many of which have transformed into reality, creating wealth, creating livelihoods, and fueling the economic engine of this country. With this summit, we bring together some of the best minds in business in India. Just look around you. It's highly likely that within 10 feet from you, you're going to spot one genius. I can already spot one or two sitting in the front row here. I can see Harsh Mariwala and Ronnie Screwvala sitting right here in front of me, so you could learn a lot from them. Our speakers and risk takers have gathered here to share their insights and valuable experiences to help mentor future entrepreneurs and to unleash the potential of the Indian economy. Our last live story on the topic of scaling up is a man who took Swastik Road Lines, a small trucking company in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, and turned it into one of the largest cold chain logistics companies in India within a span of few years. Please put your hands together for the Managing Director of ColdEX India, Gaurav Jain. Gaurav. Podium.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a kind of first-timer, so I'll read most of it, so bear with it. I'm looking to tell the story of my life in 3 parts. Not to be sounding like Steve Jobs' famous speech at the Stanford University, but 3 stories of my past, present, and possibly my future. My father began as a clerk at the Attorney General's office and had the grit and the perseverance to start a small coal trading business. This enabled him to send me to the Scindia School, a place where rich and the famous studied, and where my parents still came to meet me on a Bajaj scooter. So struggle and determination were kind of wired by him. And that being that, I started my career building a small trucking company after finishing my engineering degree. Transportation at that point in time was a market where vendors were in herds and actually were treated like sheep. We solved small optimization problems for our clients. It allowed us to attract their attention. This is when I faced the first opportunity, which is the first story of my life. Cadbury faced the problem, a massive problem actually, of an insect in their chocolate bar and had to do the damage control. They looked to revamp the entire manufacturing, packaging, and the supply chain. And this laid out 2 great opportunities at the same time. One for the company itself when it hired Amitabh Bachchan as the brand ambassador, which later enabled Cadbury bars to become a household name for meetha in the country. The second opportunity was the creation of ColdEX. And if truth be told, we observed that the vehicles they used to move lightweight chocolates were more suitable for dense meat. And the maths was very clear. If we could do a build to suit with something that we did with 40% lower capex and an optimized size of the box, we could actually reduce the freight to up to half. And being as Bollywood as this country is, I entered the office of Cadbury's with the famous Amitabh Bachchan line from Trishul. Gupta साहब, मेरे जेब में 5 फूटी कौड़ी भी नहीं है, लेकिन ये जमीन अगर आप मुझे देते हैं, तो मैं आपकी जिंदगी बदल दूंगा. On that day, I paid every piece of collateral to buy reefer trucks, which then was the single largest order for startup reefer trucks in the country. We later went on to create distribution platforms for companies like Nestle, Mars, Ferrero, Danone, a host of others from people who came from everywhere in the world and wanted temperature control movements. And all of this by creating a network in 65 cities, working with 1,500 workforce on the ground, and creating up to 1,000 reefer trucks, all within 3 years of starting the cold chain operations. With success, also came failures. And I guess we failed every day, as there was no model to replicate in order to create a 65-city presence. But we were steadily chipping away the corners of the rocks and turn it to the sculptures of our dreams. And it did happen. The second story of my life was to make services which were end-to-end and integrated, and that would work like the DHLs of the world. And this was a change of culture from selling asset-based services to be selling solutions, and the capability which only people and training can bring about. And this took us over 5 years of grind to get new leaders on board and train people on the ground. And this also was brought to fruition, and the marketplace endorsed it. We were mandated to run some of the most supply chains, some of the most famous supply chains to have come in the country in the last 2 years. From doing the Starbucks India entry when they came in 2 years ago, to revamp of the entire Yum operations, to doing the Burger King's launch in this country, the Wendy's startup, and soon to be launched Carl's Jr. and Mr. Sub. All of this about creating and fixing out 250 SKUs inbound from 70 national suppliers into 6 distribution centers, aggregating, supplying to 50 cities and delivering to 1,000 restaurants every day in a 15-minute time window. And I have no hesitation in admitting that we are once again inspired by Amitabh Bachchan once again, when he very famously says in Diwar, डावर साहब, जिस काम के लिए आपने मुझे रखा है, ये काम कैसे किया जाना चाहिए, ये सोचना भी मेरा काम है. The third story of my life is to solve for the last mile delivery of the QSR chains in this country and also for the e-com marketplaces. And this is slightly different. This is like carrying your burgers hot at 70 degrees, your mousse chilled at -4 degrees, and your ice cream actually frozen at -20 degrees, all in a single biker delivery, actively temperature controlled, fully compliant from anywhere in the world, delivered right up to your doorstep. The first story took us 10 years to realize. The second one took us 5 years. And the intent to be realizing the third story would be in less than 2 years. So trust me when I say this, picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Thank you.